Hello, welcome to the Rosamund Garden. I'm Annalise and this is Sarah.
Hello.
This is the entrance to the Rosamund Garden. I hope you can see the gate. So we're just going into the gate, and we actually got funding for a new gate, so that's all good. And we're just walking you around the garden. We have part of our application is this area here, which I'm going to get to later. But at the moment we're just showing you around our garden. We've got horse manure bin here. We get horse manure from a field not far away from this garden. Bark chipping, some freely donated by people, tree surgeons, and they bring their bark chippings to us. As you see, we need another load. And then we have various compost bins here, and we have a student who's at the University of Surrey who at the moment is investigating various methods of composting for her thesis. And then we also have someone else doing a soil science, how to improve the bacterial and fungus in our soil to improve the growing here. Here we are inside our fruit cage. We've got a row of black currants and cherries, and then we have yellow raspberries, and we have red raspberries and currants along in the middle. Here we have a row of young berries and grapes, and we're walking towards what we call Polytunnel 1. This is our cut flower garden here. Here we're entering Polytunnel 1, and there's a lovely big bee flying up there. And so this is completely organic, and we do permaculture, where we just put things on top to keep the moisture in the soil and let the bacteria and the fungus in the soil improve the soil underneath. This is where we store materials for the garden, and we have a shed here that's full of all kinds of different tools needed for gardening here. And I'm turning into Poly 2. And Sarah's going to explain a little bit about the Living Wall project with Zero Carbon Guildford that we're working with.
Hello, so at Zero Carbon Guildford we're working with Surrey Wildlife Trust, and we have an event coming up called Guildford Goes Wild, and we will have a big event outside Zero Carbon Guildford, which is a climate change advice centre in the centre of Guildford town. And we'll have lots of stalls, lots of different organisations talking about wildlife gardening, green urban growing. So this is one of our projects. We are actually making a living wall out of pallets, and we're showing people how to do that. We're going to be planting up our living wall on the day, and these are the lovely plants that we are currently using Rosamund Gardens for, as in the space and the ability to grow these plants. So it's very much interconnecting the community in two ways. So it's brilliant for that. So go. Hi there. So this is our wildlife pond, and as you can see, it's work in progress. You know, we've had a drought, and we even had a hole in the bottom, so we've had to repair that, but it'll fill up again, and almost as soon as we put the water in, we started getting damselflies and dragonflies. We're growing all our pond plants, we're making manipulas around the edge. We've got our little willow area to one side of the pond, and it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic for projects with other people in the local community coming up. So we're really looking forward to that. This is another little pond area we've got here, which is specifically for all our pollinators, insects, bee pond, call it what you like, but the insects will really thrive in this tiny pond where they can balance on plants and are able to drink from it. So this is going to be our disabled access toilet, really. It's a compost toilet on low level, and we are hoping to create a pathway through the garden to make it totally accessible.
next I'm taking you to our bog toilet. Is something rather special. Okay.
Hello, so this is our tree bog and this is works with willow. So the willow is in the bottom of the toilet area there, and that digests up all the waste material basically. But if you come and have a quick look, this was another project done with other members of the community. Zero Carbon Guildford as well helped build this
Outdoor toilet.
bog toilet.
A long drop, it was called in the old days.
Yes.
And it even has a wash basin, and it has a bag with water hanging up there and soap and a towel somewhere. There's a towel behind you.
Yeah.
But a lovely little window. It's recycled. And that's Sarah walking down towards the bees through our orchard. These trees were planted about 6-7 years ago now, and they're all doing really well. We have a lady called Charlotte who looks after the orchard. She has been taught how to prune and how to look after orchard fruit trees. And we also have somewhere a walnut tree growing as well. Look at the lovely pears on there. And so many insects in the long grass. Wonderful. And Sarah's going to take us down to the bees. Start for me.
We've got 3 hives, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
So we've got Peter Smith, who is our beekeeper, who comes along, and Sarah will tell us a bit more about our bees here.
So we've got 3 beehives in the garden here, and I don't know if you can even hear it on the video, but there is such a buzz.
Closer, Sarah.
Such a buzz going on.
I think they're all out at the moment collecting pollen because there aren't that many bees about.
So these are our honeybees, and we have a responsible beekeeper and professional beekeeper that helps look after them here. And he also does lots of courses up in the garden for local community people and for well-being, whereby we do things like setting a moth trap at night, and then we come in the morning and look at the moths, and he helps us identify them, all sorts of things like that. We can learn about the bees and how that all functions. So it's a great opportunity for people to come here and learn about nature and get the relaxation that it offers us.
And I'm just walking us down towards our new little outdoor space that we're finishing off. It will be covered in climbing plants, and I'll get back to that in a minute. We also have a little secret pond here along the path. I don't know if you can see the water in there. It's got lots of duckweed covering it up. So this area is still to be completed. This is our summertime. In years to come, sitting in the shade, you can see all the climbing plants that have been planted to grow along here. And we look forward to having the lovely shady outdoor social area for the local community.
So here we have our very natural bee bank. It was when we were building the hub and we were kind of moving soil to one side, and the wild bees just started moving in. And so we encourage that by sort of stacking a bit more soil over onto the left side there, and they're burrowing in, and they're using it, making their little cells in there, the solitary bees. And this time of year it's very active.
Sarah's going to talk to you about our new hub project, which we hope to finish this summer. Over to you, Sarah.
Okay, so this is the hub. We've used lots of different methods for building, and we've been having guidance from various professionals and things along the way. It's mainly built out of cob, and we run workshops, and we get the local community in to sort of help with the cobbing. As you can see, we've learned how to do wash wattle and daub method this is going to be. So this is our hazel that is we learnt how to weave together, and then later on in the year we'll be learning how to put the daub in this wattle, and we're sort of building up gradually the size between wattle and daub and cob, and then we're going to have a special sort of wooden floor area laid and a canvas roof. So if we walk round it, we'll get a feel of the size really. And we have had some lovely days here with the local community, making our mud pies. And here's an example. We've had to sort of keep it covered up from the weather, but we've got our stone wall at the base, and then we've got our cobbing, and we're using old wine bottles to make like semi sort of windows to let the light in. And here we're building another place for our bees and our pollinators. The bamboo sticks will be gradually incorporated in the cobbing as we move up in that square there. And we have a sort of doorway entrance here, if you can see it. We'll just try and get in.
Trying to dry the cob, protect it from the rain.
Yeah. So obviously it's overgrown at the moment, but it just gives you more of an idea of the size and the space. And what we want to do is run workshops here, teaching people how to be closer to nature really, in a sustainable way. And there's just a long list of ideas of things that we could do. For example, growing plants that we could then get their dyes from, make colours, and then learn how to use that on textiles. That's just one example, but there's going to be so many things. It's going to be a free area where people can come, you know, teach other people about nature. And it will also be a place where we can run well-being things, relaxation, yoga, you know, whatever it might be, meditation and that sort of thing. So we can't wait to get this finished and together.
We're just walking back towards our kitchen shed and showing you a bit more of our garden. This is a great gathering space. We've had Midsummer Night Solstice celebration here. It was absolutely magical. The stars were there for the plucking. There's a bee hotel over there. Solitary insect hotel, I should say. It's so peaceful here. And this is our kitchen shed. Please to show you what our problem is. This is what we have at the moment leading to our community hub building. And as you can see, the site is quite overgrown and very uneven and not suitable for a range of people to come to visit our hub. And as such, we want to install behind us at the entrance an area of hoggen, which is compacted clay and gravel, which is environmentally friendly and also allows drainage on the site. And then along here, along the fruit cage there, we've been given lovely stacks of stones behind me here by Caber stones, which is very lovely of them. And so we want to build a nice wide wheelchair access path along here, going towards our hub building, which is just over there, as you can see. So just to introduce myself to you, I'm a garden designer, wildlife friendly, and I'm also a very keen wildlife gardener. I have been a long-standing member of the Rosamund Community Garden, where we are today. I'm also part of the Guildford Environmental Forum, and I've just recently started up to have my own personal garden as part of a new project where we're encouraging as many gardeners as possible to become pollinator friendly in their gardens. My garden has been pollinator friendly, completely organic, for the last 7 years, where we don't cut the grass in the summer months and leave it long until September to give all the insects chance to hatch, and we look after the little frogs and wildlife that hide away in the long grass during the summer. I'm just walking into our kitchen shed now, and to show you the plans, the hard landscaping plans. So that's our entrance gate here, and then that's the area of Hoggen, and then that is where we have the big stones going all around our fruit cage and going up to the hub, and that's the hub structure. And we're hoping to have decking around that with wheelchair access ramp to the hub, and then that is where the ornamental garden will be, which is another part of our project, and then obviously all the work that needs to be done to have that installed. We're going to have a mown grass path with edging with short hazel posts infilled with twiglets and pine cones, like we saw at Wisley Gardens Wild Garden.
So here we are just on the outskirts of the actual garden bit, where we're on the Chalkland Downs, which is another really valuable habitat that we're trying to look after. So let's have a quick look at the downs. Here we are. We have the belted Galloway in here, once a year grazing the land from Surrey Wildlife Trust, and we've had that happen 3 years now, and we're really starting to see a mosaic of habitat appearing. So we're getting a lot of primary orchids, Quaker grass, rattle, it's all popping up now, so it's excellent.
And our volunteers get trained on doing lookering to help make sure that the Surrey Wildlife Trust cattle are healthy. And
so that's another thing that where we involve the community, where they're trained by Surrey Wildlife Trust to be a lookerer, and we can look after the belted Galloway when they come and graze here, make sure they're healthy. So that is another really good well-being factor that's on offer for the local people. So I'd just like to say a big thank you for this opportunity to get funding from
Nespresso.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So this is really an addendum to a video about the well-being of this place, and I just wanted to say that this is a low impact site. It's for the local community to come together to do food growing, and we have the orchard, we have the ponds, we have the hub building which we're completing this summer, and we're just a short walk from our nearest town, Guildford. The site is run as a nature reserve. It's really peaceful and quiet, and we have lots of lovely wildlife here, plus we have gorgeous views from the back of the site over Guildford. We work with different community groups at present. There's no membership waiting list. We have a low membership fee, and there's no financial burden on joining, really. And we just hope that to engage as many people in our local community as possible with our site here.